Welcome, Radiant Community. It says a lot about you showing up for today's intuitive guidance, always for your highest good. And today we are going to speak about self-sabotage, how you do things that get in the way of yourself being prosperous, being happy, being safe. I am Karen Felice, renowned Los Angeles Reiki Master Teacher, and I'm sharing my 30 plus years of wisdom and guidance with you. I love for you to settle yourselves and know that you are safe in what we are looking at. With self-sabotage, this brings in the feeling of resistance. And you ask yourself, what am I resisting? Am I afraid of failure? So if I'm creating the obstacles, then I know it will fail, instead of having failure just dumped upon you. So to navigate through some of these things, maybe you learned these patterns growing up and saw a parent or a friend or a teacher just really reinforcing that behavior. It's really important that we give ourselves a little bit of space from those feelings of what they were doing, whether they were happy, whether they prevented, their success, and you could see obstacles and you could see, well, maybe we could do it better, but you were always afraid to try to make it better. Self-sabotage really has nothing to do with you believing in yourself, okay? What I like to do in this community is to diffuse or let go of belief systems. And I'm not talking religion or ideologies. I'm talking about patterns and functions that keep us at a lower light than who we are. And I call belief systems BS. So before we begin, I like to use this crystal. This is called green calcite. And I use it instead of sage to clear energy. So I do this over my clients, over myself when I want to clear the energy in the auric field. We have energies in our bodies and also energies around us. So instead of sage, I'm using this to welcome all of you here, to help it be a clean slate. So have you ever seen this saying, the author is unknown, but the saying is, what would you achieve if you knew you could not fail? And I've seen that. And when I first saw that in my friend's kitchen, the first thing I thought of was I would climb Mount Everest. I don't know what you feel like you would achieve if you knew you could not fail. So again, this concept or belief system about success really creates self-sabotage. There's patterns of belief that keep us in worry, or keep us in feelings that, oh, we're being humble, we're not being full of ourselves, instead of I'm so good, instead of doing the opposite and saying, well, I'm not that good and I may not get it. That allows people to have the space in case, a job falls through or a relationship falls through. It's like, well, I already knew it was going to fail, so I told myself that it was going to go along that way. Well, that is definitely a vibration. And the way I understand the universe, and I've been practicing law of attraction, the universe does not differentiate between what you want and what you don't want. It only feels vibration. So even when you say, I don't want to fail, it's going to bring life lessons that actually set up failure. So what would you do if you knew you could not fail? Oh, would I be happy? Oh, would I be generous? with the income that I'm saving and having? What would you do? Be kinder to yourself. These are all important questions to ask when you're looking at what it is I want to stop blocking in myself, in stopping the belief system that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not financially stable. I've had many clients who, want to have children, and they say, well, when I'm in a good relationship, or when I have the money to do it, then I will. And I always remind them that it's really not up to you, it's up to the soul of the child that wants to be here. So when you allow a welcoming and a gratitude for whenever that soul chooses to be here, to know that, yes, together we can create an amazing dynamic. Because I remind people that there's children being born in our world, in war-torn circumstance, or refugee camps, or extreme poverty, or extreme wealth. There's a whole range of experience that the child is being born into that needs to experience what they need to experience. So to get out of the way of yourself with these belief systems that keep you like afraid to even try something new, is really dismantling a belief system. So let's cut a cord. If there was an attachment to a pattern that you learned from your family, and I'm offering it up to the highest good of everyone, that this is something you no longer have to carry forward. And allow yourself, is a beautiful affirmation you can say, is I'm creating with the fullness of my heart. I'm creating joy. I'm creating fulfillment. I receive my greatness. And I love myself when I don't know what to do. These are all really, really wonderful affirmations to help you get out of the way of yourself. I remember having a therapist who told me, years ago, after I was newly single, she said that I was meeting life mates who weren't emotionally available or for me, because I was already in the mindset that I was afraid of relationships. So that was my self-sabotage, that I would call these emotionally unavailable people into my life, and then when it failed, of course I knew it was going to fail. So I was creating that because of my fear. So when I learned to love myself and really allow love, and I'm not talking being a diva or full of myself, this is a way that I move forward. So to even tell yourself, I'm loved and protected, I'm loved and protected. And if there's a decision you have to make and you're scared about moving to a new city, or you're scared about taking a test, like passing the bar, or whatever it is, and you set yourself up for, failure, because then when it happens, I won't be so surprised. And it is a self-sabotage. So to allow all of these decisions and experiences, what I like to do is offer them up to the highest good of everyone. And when that happens, when you say that, the word everyone also includes yourself. And I practiced that. The first time I ever said that, I surrendered this to the highest good of everyone. I was sitting outside of a courthouse. I was about to be picked as a juror, and I'm listening to all the other potential jurors, and they're talking amongst themselves, saying how they don't want to be here, they're not going to make money, they don't have childcare, and all these worries that they were vocalizing. And I quieted my mind and I said this. It came to me, and I said, I surrender this to the highest good of everyone. Okay, then now we were all called into the courthouse, or into the courtroom, and the lawyer said to all of us, okay, everyone is free to go. The two parties just settled outside of the door. And that blew me away, because I saw the power with that intention of, I'm surrendering this. I mean, offering it up to the universe to create a solution even bigger than what my limited human understanding could understand. And in that co-creation and in that allowance, a greater outcome happened. So these are all little techniques you can save for yourself with self-sabotage, and ask yourself, what would I achieve if I knew I couldn't fail? Oh, I would achieve the most fulfilling relationship. I would achieve a workplace that values me. So that deeper message is, oh, I get to value me. I get to cherish myself. And as you cut through all the smoke and mirrors of what's really happening, that deep root, that this is what you want for yourself, the self-sabotage becomes this false armor that you can let down and no longer need in your day, or in your progress, or even in what seems as a stagnation or non-movement in your life. There is movement. There is divine timing. And when things don't work out, you know, there's actual times that we are being protected from something else. So please, you know, allow yourselves to say any of these affirmations, what resonates with you, what feels good for you. And you can hit like, you can subscribe, you can share this with anyone who you feel will benefit from this course of action. And it's about empowerment for you. And really ask yourself, what would you achieve if you knew you could not fail? Thank you so very much for your time and heart. And I love being part of your journey. And I will see many of you next time. Thank you so much.